Hey guys, it's Mrs. Marborough. I really hope you all have recovered or at least are on your way to recovering from last week's storm. I know we missed our live lesson last week, so since I now have power back, I wanted to create a recording for the live lesson that we missed. Today's live lesson will be covering lessons 2.04 through 2.06, and hopefully by the end of today's live lesson, or soon after, you'll be ready to turn in your 2.06 assignment because we'll be working through it together. All right, let's get started. Our agenda for today will consist of several objectives, which are, after completing this lesson, you'll be able to have an overview of the North Star goal setting method, complete the center of your North Star chart, identify school goals, identify what excites and energizes you, complete the S, A, and R sections of the North Star, identify the distractors in your life, learn how to overcome distractions, and understand how to remain focused on your goals and dreams. To start us off on today's live lesson, I wanted to show you guys a video about the mentality of legends.
Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. Fall forward.
Holding on to your dream and staying focused is really important. If I could come from a council estate in the middle of Stratford-on-Avon and live in 17 houses before I was 16 and win 3 Michelin stars, anybody who wants to come in and copy or use me as inspiration, then I'm the real deal.
You know, in the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, we use that what do they know approach. We didn't give up at that point.
When I went to film school, everybody said, well, you're nuts. What are you going to film school for? Nobody from a film school had ever gotten a job in the film business. Just had never happened. So you were just doomed to be a ticket taker at Disneyland. So they was like, why would you do that? Why don't you take a major that you can actually get a job at? But once I fell in love with it, there was no going back, even though I had absolutely no chance of making it in the film business.
So whatever you feel in your heart and in your gut, you should follow that. Follow that. And then if that changes one day, that's fine too. Then you follow that. But you're the only one who knows. Nobody else.
You can't let anyone tell you what, your best is. You know what your best is. And I work at it. You can have whatever you want. It just takes work.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse.
Work your butt off. You never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. I never wanted to lose a competition or lose an election because I didn't work hard enough. I always believed leaving no stone unturned. Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count my sit-ups, I only start counting when it starts hurting. When I feel pain, that's when I start counting, because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion.
To become an entrepreneur is not easy, and a lot of people who try to become entrepreneurs, they fail along the way, but good ones pick themselves up and they try again until they succeed.
If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the mentality. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I said to myself, I will do it and I will do it better. That's the mentality.
Don't be afraid to fail. Anything I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail.
Just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. I'm not trying my hardest, I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
Don't give up. You will fail 1,000 times, but then you'll succeed. And most people like to give up after they fail because that's when it feels like that's when you're supposed to give up. Like I tried, I failed, time to quit. I totally disagree. Failure really happens when you've decided that you no longer want to pursue that dream. Like that's the moment of failure. That's the point when you turn the corner from on your way to success to failing.
I've often met people who are terrified, you know, in a straitjacket of their own making because they'd rather do anything than fail. They don't want to try for fear of failing. Well, that's the rock bottom thing. Rock bottom wasn't fun at all. I'm not going to romanticize rock bottom, but it was liberating. What did I have to lose?
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb.
What if you could accomplish your wildest dreams? What if you could do things, go places, and experience success far beyond anything you've ever thought possible? You can. How do I know? Over the last 10 years, I've worked with over 1 million teenagers across North America. I've helped students get A's in math for the first time, get accepted to top colleges, and even perform better at sports. And I can tell you this, to accomplish incredible things, you do not need lots of money, you don't need to look beautiful, and you don't need to be the most popular person in school. The most important thing is the ability to set and accomplish your own goals. I know this is true because I experienced it firsthand. When I was in high school, my family was broke. My father was legally blind, so he couldn't work, and my mother didn't know how to read or write, so she couldn't get a good job. The biggest challenge I faced, however, was when my best friend, my older brother, was killed in a car accident. Despite these challenges, I graduated from high school as an all-state athlete and top student. Colleges offered me over $300,000 worth of scholarships, and I attended and graduated from Harvard University. My greatest secret to success was that at the beginning of every semester of school, I pulled out a journal and wrote down my goals. Then every day, I took 5 minutes to review my goals and challenge myself to improve. Even when I felt like the world was against me, I had the strength to keep moving forward because I knew what my goals were. If you train yourself to set and review your goals, you will accomplish things beyond your imagination. In the coming lessons, you will learn how to set your goals by creating a North Star.
So, what exactly is the North Star? I've never been that great at science, so I'm going to go ahead and let the experts tell you.
The North Star is the one star that doesn't move in the sky because it sits above the Earth's axis of rotation. As the Earth spins, the North Star stays put. All the other stars, if you look at the stars from the Earth, appear to revolve around the North Star. If you were standing at the North Pole, it would be straight overhead. As you move south of the North Pole, the North Star isn't overhead anymore, but it appears over the northern horizon. And so if you sail toward the North Star, then you were heading north.
Now, although you are not an ancient sailor and you're not out in the middle of the ocean, you are the captain of your own life journey. Like the ancient sailors, you have a clear choice. You can restrict yourself to things you can easily see or give yourself the freedom to pursue the life of your dreams. If you want the freedom to travel, to meet interesting people, and to overcome storms and challenges, then you need your own North Star. You need a tool to help you navigate your life's journey. Here's the North Star that you're going to be using to set your own goals. The North Star has 5 sections. The middle section is called North and represents your center. The North is surrounded by 4 sections that spell the word star. S for students, T for tools, A for alive, and R for reasons. In the center of your North Star, you'll describe who you are. Figuring out who you are is a lifelong journey, and you can update your North Star as many times as you like. I know I've changed mine many times. Your North Star represents the things that matter most to you, such as your life dreams, the people you love most, your faith, and anything else that means a lot to you. When times get tough, knowing who you are will help you make the right decisions. If something bad happens to you, knowing who you are will keep you anchored. Now, I want you to take out or open the North Star file that your teacher sent you. It's also available on page 3 of lesson 2.04. Now, we're going to start filling out your North Star. First, pick 3 things that represent who you are and write them in the middle of your North Star. Describe each of the 3 things with 1 sentence. Please go ahead and pause the recording while you do this. Now, let's take a look at the S section. This is the student section. I want you to begin by writing the word grades and then list your classes. Next to each class, write the grade you want to see on your report card when the semester ends. Once you've described your goals for your grades, write the word other. That's where you'll describe anything else you want to achieve. For example, with sports, volunteering, clubs, organizations, leadership activities. Remember, make sure that your goals are MAD. Remember that from last lesson? MAD stands for measurable, attainable, and make sure it has a deadline. Also, check to make sure that what you wrote in the student section matches what you wrote in the North section. For example, if you wrote that you want to go to college as a big dream in your North, make sure you're aiming for grades that will get you into college. You don't want to write B's or F's. The next section we're going to work on is the A section. The A stands for alive. No matter who you are, you have at least one thing in your life that gets you excited. A critical part of growing up is figuring out what you like and what your greatest passions are. In the Alive section, set one goal for something that will make you feel alive and bring you joy and happiness this coming semester. What is the activity, hobby, volunteer project, or social experience that makes you feel alive? For some students, it might be traveling. I know that'd be mine. It could be poetry, surfing, music, or sports. What is it for you? What will you do that's fun and energizing this semester? Also in the Alive section, it leaves room for you to have at least one goal for something that you can do to help someone else. For example, if my goal is learning how to sew, something I can do for someone else is I will make a blanket for my grandmother. By including someone else in your Alive section, you're asserting yourself as a true leader. You're showing that you care not just about your own happiness, but the happiness of others. Now, our last section is the R section. R stands for reasons. Imagine you're at a movie theater on a Friday night with a friend and you've just gotten settled into your seats. Suddenly, the theater manager stands next to you and says that he needs your help cleaning the theater's bathroom. You would think he's crazy, right? I would definitely think he's nuts. What if he pulled out a crisp $100 bill and offered it as payment for cleaning the bathrooms? You still might not do it, but what if he told you that he would give you the formulas for the cures for cancer and AIDS? Wouldn't you jump out of your seat to start cleaning the bathrooms immediately? At the beginning, when he first asked you, you were pretty disgusted by what he wanted you to do. By the end, it didn't matter what he wanted you to do. What changed? You had a strong reason. You would save millions of lives and make millions and billions of dollars selling the cure. If you know why you want to accomplish your goals, you'll have the motivation to accomplish them. So what are your reasons? Are they powerful enough to inspire you? If not, give yourself new reasons or change the goals in your North Star to things that you care more about. Press your turbo button today by acting on one of the goals in your North Star.
I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I hope none of you can relate. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop. They still call it beauty shops now? What they call it now? Yeah, I'll sit in the beauty parlor. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil, I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975. She said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now, mind you, I was flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the Army. I didn't know what I was going to do, and she's telling me I'm going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. Fail big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. And in this text, tweet, twerk world that you've grown up in, remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you can run in place all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress. And anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
Now, there are 2 types of tools that you can use to stay focused on your North Star and accomplish your dreams. The first one, those that you can do by yourself, and the second, those that you can do with others. North Star tools that you can do on your own are journaling. Get a notebook and put your North Star at the front. Take 5 minutes each day to review your progress and reflect on your day. Describe what you've done to move closer to your goals. If you can't do it every day, then do it a few times a week. At the end of each week, do a victory check in your journal. A victory check is when you describe all of the positive things that happened that week, including all of the ways you stayed true to your North Star. Another tool is a daily check. The daily check is very simple and powerful. Take 2 minutes each morning or evening and read through your entire North Star. Pick one section of your North Star and read it twice. You can do your daily check during breakfast, on the bus, in study hall, or each night. To keep your North Star fresh, try to read it in a different way each day. Perhaps you can read it out loud, read it from the bottom up, or turn it into a song or a rap. You decide what works best for you. The idea is to review your goals and dreams each day so that they stay fresh in your mind. And the last one is a weekly plan. The weekly plan may be the most powerful way to use your North Star. Every week, maybe on a Sunday night, set aside about 30 minutes to do the following. First, pull out your North Star and read through it. 2, on a sheet of paper, list the things you need to do during the week to follow your North Star. This can include study sessions, any workouts you have, and anything else you want to do. 3, get your calendar and schedule the things that you listed. And 4, review your calendar each day and be sure you do the things that you listed. If you have to switch things around, it's okay. Just try to follow the schedule as much as possible. This weekly plan is powerful because as long as you do the things that are listed, you'll be living out your North Star throughout the week. Learning how to do a weekly plan during high school is important because in college, you'll not have your parents around and your teachers, like us, around as often. You'll need to know how to schedule and use your time wisely. In fact, poor time management is one of the biggest reasons students flunk out of college. Next, let's take a look at the North Star tools that you can do with others. There are 2 of them. The first is teaming up. Find 1 or 2 friends that you trust, share your North Star with each other. Talk at least once a week for 10 minutes to update each other on your progress. It's kind of like the buddy system. The second tool is to find a mentor. An older person who trains a younger person is called a mentor. For example, Yoda training Luke Skywalker, Daniel's son being trained by Mr. Miyagi, Mickey and Rocky, Spider-Man and Iron Man, Creed and Rocky, and then you can't forget Mufasa and Simba. During your high school years, try to find at least one adult mentor. Your mentor can be a teacher in your school or someone in your community. Here are some tips. First, try to meet with your mentor at least once a month. Try to schedule your meetings for the same time each month, so planning is easier. Remember that your mentors are busy people and they don't owe you anything. So please make sure that you're serious about doing your best, because if you are, they'll be excited to help you. Tip 2, show your mentors your North Star and ask if they can help you reach your goals. Ask your mentors to challenge you and help you become your best. Tip 3, try to find someone who has already done exactly what you want to do. If you want to be a doctor, then find a doctor. If you want to play in the NFL, find a successful football player. And tip 4, always ask your mentors if you can help them with anything. Although your mentor is helping you, you want to show them that you're willing to help them too. Do nice things for them without them asking you to. For example, email an article that you might think is interesting to them, or send them a birthday card. That would be super sweet. Okay, we're almost finished. Next, name your star. Give your North Star its own name, and every time you make a new North Star, give it a new name. This way, over time, you'll know what kind of North Star helps you the most. And finally, fill in your dates. At the bottom of your North Star, you should fill in the exact dates you'll use your star. The best way to fill in the dates is to create a new North Star for each semester. This will help you stay the course and remain focused.
Focus! Today, when you walk into that arena, there is no holding back. There is 110% effort. There is maximum commitment. There is no holding back. Do you hear me? You don't get anywhere holding back. Champions don't hold back. Beasts don't hold back. The greats never hold back. You are strong, focused, always ready. You are calm, prepared, hands steady. You are a beast, a champion, ready for fame. You are a beast, a lion no one will tame. Go all out. Give 110. You have more heart than 10,000 men.
Are you focused?
I am focused. I am focused. I am focused.
I am machine. I am beast. I see challenge. I feast.
Let's go. Let's go.
You are unstoppable.
No one has the power to stop you. No one has the strength to halt you. Your desire and heart will destroy anyone that gets in your way.
Get the job done. Don't look around to see if others are watching. Don't seek recognition. Don't seek approval. You don't need it. You will be better without it.
You don't listen to haters. They hate because they are small. You are far from small. You are large and in charge. Large in charge.
No matter how many disappointments along the way, my mind remains stronger than ever. Every minute, every hour, every day, focused to the finish.
Your love is the work, the pride of the work, the toughest of work.
The enormous satisfaction you get when you look at yourself in the mirror and you know, without a doubt, you are self-made. Your place has been earned. Your place is deserved. There's no better feeling.
Self-made, strong, powerful, prepared, focused, hungry for more. Repeat after me. This is my time. I have a vision and no one will get in my way. No one will alter my beliefs. No one will roadblock my goals. I will move aside all barriers to my dreams. I will rip them to shreds and leave them scattered on the ground. That's how bad I want this. I want it more than anything or anyone. There is no plan B. There is no falling back. There is only one option. Succeed at all costs. Reach the top. Reach the goal.
You are focused. Your eyes are on the prize.
Your eyes are on the prize. Pain is temporary. Greatness is forever. Are you going to live this day as if it is your last shot to make something of yourself? Give your all. Show your heart. Show your drive. Push yourself to the absolute limit. You will succeed. You will succeed. You will succeed.
All right, let's keep that momentum going. It's time to do your 2.06 assignment. Throughout this live lesson, hopefully you've been working step by step to complete your North Star. However, if you weren't able to complete it during the live lesson, there is a North Star generator. Let me show you where you can find it. From the lessons page, you're going to go ahead and select Module 2, and then go down to 2.06, How Can I Stay the Course? You are going to go to the very last page. Now, it's not page 5, but it's the page after that. And that page is called Summary and Assessment. Now, look down a little bit where it has the directions. You will click on the arrow. And number 2, it'll say North Star Generator. Click on the North Star Generator, and another window will pop up. And here, you will be able to set your goals in just 15 minutes. In the lower right-hand corner, you'll click on Create Your North Star, and the generator will pop up, and it will walk you through step by step. All right, make sure you save it. Okay, let's recap. For assignment 2.06, you're going to submit the file for your completed North Star, and we would also love to see a picture of you holding it. And finally, let us know in the student comments box where you plan on posting your North Star. It'll help keep you focused. All right, thank you guys so much for listening and taking the time to complete your North Star. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Have a great week.
When you point out that my mom had me at 15, the only option at that point is welfare or the street.
We were poor. We lived in the projects. We didn't even own a car.
I had a prostitution ring on my street corner. There were drug addicts in my alleyway.
Working class kid, growing up on the south side of Chicago, growing up with doubts and fears just like all of you all.
I was raised in a very domestic violence home, and my mom is a very high yellow woman, so bruises show up on her very quickly.
When I was 14 years old, I became pregnant. I was probably as poor as you can go without being homeless in the UK.
I had no prospects, I had no agent, I had no money.
I didn't come from that environment that just sets me up for success.
I was poor because I didn't have anything. I had no money, I had no things, we had no TV, we had no refrigerator, we had nothing as kids. But I was rich because I had a dream. I had a dream of becoming the greatest bodybuilder, and I had a dream to use bodybuilding as a means to get into films. But I had no idea that it would go as far as it did.
If I took you to where I grew up, the odds on me getting from there to here is not something you would have bet on. Don't allow anybody, friends, family, even your parents, to tell you you're aiming too high. Because if you look at my story, it's not a Hollywood movie. It's real, it's authentic, and it happened to me. I'm not smarter than anyone else, and it can happen to you.
I always say if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the reason that I always say that is because I didn't grow up with things being handed to me. I had to work hard, I had to dedicate myself, and I had to be determined, and I was.
When you see transition really start to happen, when you really want to transition into something, master it. There's no limits. You know, don't let the world ever put limits on you. You can do anything you want to do. But make sure if you have a vision, make sure the vision is written.
People often want to call me the exception, like, oh my God, you're the exception. No, I'm not the exception. I'm an average, ordinary woman who chose every day to make one more extraordinary decision.
I have not allowed my disability to stop me doing most things. I feel a sense of achievement that I have managed to make these contributions, despite having ALS.
I feel like anybody can do anything they set their mind to. It depends on how bad you want it, and I wanted to do it. You know, at this stage of my life, I don't feel like there's too much that I can't do. I don't mean to sound cocky or nothing, but if I really want to do it, I don't give up that easy.
You have a good chance at making some of your wildest dreams come true. Most people don't even try, sadly. Most people try and then stop, give up. Very few people try and try and try, or do and do and do and do and never give up.
You have to realize that there's always work to do, and you want to be the hardest working person in whatever you do, and you put yourself in position to be successful. And you have to have a passion about what you do. And basketball was mine, and that's what's carried me to this point.
Conscience shouts, here's what you should do, while your intuition whispers, here's what you could do. Listen to that voice that tells you what you could do. Nothing will define your character more than that.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane.
Dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still coming on top. I got God on my side.
Out of night, the colors be black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever God there may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell collective circumstance, I have not cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of fate, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the shadow of the shade. Yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me, unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how punishment charges the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
History is replete with the stories of strong-minded, resolutely willed individuals who, steadfastly holding to their inner convictions, have been able to inspire their fellow man, and in the face of tremendous and determined opposition have literally created out of nothing great businesses, huge empires, and new worlds.